You've got to pick the side. Okay, we're 2-1 down in the series. How are we going to get 20 wickets? Who's going to give us the best chance? I just find it astounding that they don't have the exact bowling lineup that is going to get them the 20 wickets. And
they went with Shardul Thakur as the fourth seamer, sacrificing a pure batter. When Washington Sundar gets you 4 wickets in the earlier matches, it's difficult to get another spinner in. For me, actually quite bizarre that they've stuck with it. I mean, it was, 60 overs before we saw first sign of Washington Sundar.
One thing I would say to back Shubman Gill,
I just feel the selection-wise, have they given themselves the best chance to get 20 wickets? That's all I ask. And for me, it feels like they're hedging their bets a little bit, where they're picking the 3 all-rounders, and it feels like Shubman Gill's not quite sure which way to go. So for me, I find that interesting. You've got to pick the side. Okay, we're 2-1 down in the series. How are we going to get 20 wickets? Who's going to give us the best chance? And for me, I know, having sort of still being in the game, that the England side would much rather face someone on debut than a Kuldeep Yadav bowling at Old Trafford, where it has the potential to spin. I just find it astounding that they don't have the exact bowling lineup that is going to get them the 20 wickets. And so for me, I find that Shubman Gill's a little bit got one hand behind the back. There must be other seamers, because at the moment, Kambuj and Thacker just don't seem threatening enough. And where else are they going to get the wickets? And it makes Siraj's and it makes his Bumrah's job that much harder. And without a frontline spinner, Jadeja, yes, good canny bowler, but is he going to be able to take the wickets and win your game if it did start spinning?
Yeah, I tend to be a little critical of decisions that are easier to take, in the sense that you've got time to mull over it. You had 8 days to think about the Indian playing 11. They went with Shardul Thakur as the fourth seamer, sacrificing a pure batter. And somewhere I think an additional batter in this kind of a lineup would have helped, because then you would have had maybe, hopefully, more runs on the board. This pitch was always going to be difficult. Even for an Akashdeep, he would have struggled to get 4 or 5 wickets. Kuldeep Yadav is a tempting, option, but then when Washington Sundar gets you 4 wickets in the earlier matches, it's difficult to get another spinner in. But now that you've got him, I mean, this is, for me, actually quite bizarre that they've stuck with it. I mean, it was, 60 overs before we saw first sign of Washington Sundar. Now, this is a guy, I might want to remind my colleagues here, he's a guy who played as one of your frontline spinners at home against New Zealand. India lost that series, but he was the discovery as a guy who was a replacement for Ashwin, got 7 wickets in one innings, and just a few days back, he got 4 wickets.
Sure.
So these are the things that I can't understand, and it's costing India.
one thing I would say to back Shubman Gill, I watched Pat Cummins here against England in 2023, very successful Australian captain, have every fielder on the boundary, and he was just chasing leather all day, didn't know who to bowl, didn't know where to go. So this England team, this England batting unit, can make it very, very difficult for captains to find ways of being creative, because they're so aggressive with what they're doing. The bowlers are missing both sides of the wicket. You can't control anything. Particularly the lines the Indian bowlers have gone with, not just last night, actually a bit today. They give an easy single through the leg side, then they overcorrect and they're a bit too wide and get cut. So I think there could be a decision made, not with the second new ball, but if they're still going an hour and a half after the lunch break, where they say, okay, we're just going to bowl outside off stump wide with a 7-2 field, and can we control that? Then there's no excuse for your bowlers to go at leg stump. You're going into length outside off stump, and you hope for a mistake, you get a mistake, and then you bring the stumps into play again with the new batter. I think one thing that maybe the Indian bowlers have got wrong is the bowl in LBW on pitches that are keeping low. It's a mistake. Always looking for the outside of off stump to bring the outside edge into play. And then if one nips back, that's when the LBW and bold comes in. If you're just focusing on hitting the stumps, you'll go into middle stump, you'll go into middle and leg, and top class batters will hit you through mid wicket all day long. If you have in your mind the LBW is a mistake, and you're looking for the outside edge, then you'll get the LBW, because it will nip back, bang, LBW. Whereas the one that they did review to Joe Root was going down leg side because it was too straight and missing leg stump. So a little bit of a simplicity in the line you're bowling. Get the ball through to the keeper. Get it through to the keeper on 5th stump. And if one nips back and brings the stumps into play, brilliant. If it doesn't, your captain can control your field because you know the line you're trying to bowl.